Hey, welcome back. Got another video today. This one's kind of a little different, going over a couple of odds and ends that happened to me with Burt. And yeah, before we get into the video, I just launched merch. I know, weird. Anyways, check it out. Links in the description there. Just got shirts, t-shirts, and hoodies are the nicer quality ones. So actually, you know, I got one on right now. Twostallgarage. Go over there, check them out. Pick yourself up one. If not, video's coming up now. See you at the end of this. Well, hey there. Seems to be a going trend lately. Driving home from work. I know it's early. It's light out. In Suburban. I have no heat again. Not because of what we just fixed, and whatever video that was, because my heater blower motor just randomly stopped working. I got nothing. So, let's stop up here and see what we got. Been running for a minute. It's kind of a higher idle. I think that's going to lead me to one thing. Probably means that our choke is not working. Yeah, that should be on. It's hot, probably blew the fuse. But that's what controls my choke. That's why we got probably a high idle going on right now. So, let's look at our fuses really quick. See if we can see. Oh, okay. That one kind of looks funny. It's not hot. Hazard, wiper, cluster, feed. Huh. Well, let's eyeball this so I can see it. Which one is for heater? I know there was. Ooh. Oh, it's good. It's supposed to be sizzling. Probably not. Fused, battery, heater. The very top one. Well, I need the camera, or the flashlight. Yeah, blue fuse. You guys could probably, maybe you can see it on the camera. I don't know. But if you look closely, that fuse right there is blown. So, I'm almost home. I got a little bit to go. Let's go. Let's get home. She went kaboom. So I was able to see that it's a 20 amp. Got a 20 amp in my collection, so I'm gonna re-hook it up now. Okay, so let's put it back in. All right, now let's test it out. Yep. Hard start, because if you remember, it had the choke tied to that. But we seem to be working now. No issues. Let this run for a minute, see if that fuse pops again. Well, it's been running fine. And I thought I heard something fall off, and sure enough, cover for that, the squirter thing fell off. That sucks. Oh, always something. So now what I'm going to do is, because I got heat back and it's actually warming up in here, I'm going to find my headliner and I'm going to put my headliner back in. And I think to do that, I got to rewire up my lights. Well, I got to go up there. I decided to pull Burt into the garage because why not? Why not? So there's a fly. Where'd you come from, buddy? Anyways, yeah, I'm in the garage because it's freaking cold out, and I was going to put a space heater in this thing and keep it warm, but I'm like, dummy, why don't you just pull it in your garage you got? So that's what I did. Ladies and gentlemen, may I direct your attention to the front of the vehicle? 454. May have just discovered that Houston, I think we have a problem. So that's my breather that I put on there recently because I thought it was like blow by and a lot of oil leaking out, which was on Power Tour. And I noticed it's been steaming quite a lot lately. That's why we got probably a high idle going on right now when it's been running. And yes, I was listening to Creed. Well, a little bit's normal, especially when you give it a fresh oil change, you heat it up. You're going to burn off any condensation that accumulates inside the engine when it sits, especially in a cold climate. Well, I tipped it up, and we got quite a bit of drippage coming out there. Now, I don't remember what video it was I mentioned. I was going to put this catch can on there. And then, you know, you catch all that kind of stuff, and then you drain it out, which is normal. Usually it's not that much. So I noticed down in there where the thing has been hanging, it looks like it's been leaking. So, you know, going down the fender, that skirt, down to right there. Which, okay, that's cool, I guess. Then I've been noticing the last couple days, and I could not figure it out for the life of me, and I was just like, probably a little bit of oil residue, residual, something. If you take a gander at this back pipe here, you can see where my crudely patch job was done. It's got a wet spot. And on the actual pipe itself, it's got like a wet spot all the way around it. Also, if you go to the driver's side here, you know, it's dry. It's dry. Passenger side's got this soakiness on it. So something in the passenger side of these cylinders is not happy. So I was going to do a bunch of work to this, but we got to investigate. So we're going to pull the spark plugs out. We're going to read them and see what we got. In my suspicion, I might have a blown head gasket. And why do I think that? Well, all the water. And I had to put not a bunch, but probably at least a quart of coolant in this thing here a couple days ago. And I was thinking, well, you know, we're doing all this heater core work, heating it up, cooling down, pulling it, whatever. I never refilled it from there, so I just thought it was low. I don't know. So let's pull those plugs out, get a read on them, and see if that's the case. If it's burning coolant, then one of them should be a lot lighter than the others. there's a view for you. 2, got a little bit of soot on, and these are fresh plugs. They might only have a couple 100 miles on them. 6 and 8, those are burning, you know, about where they need to. You know, they're a little carboned up, but you know, the straps and the little porcelain piece in it, you know, I'm okay with that. Number 4 here, well, we got a little bit of a problem. If you take a look at it, it does not appear to be firing. So we have a firing issue on number 4, because that should at least look something like that. Or number 2 here, we know number 2 is firing, even though it's oily. Number 2, you can see the carbon in there. It's got like a little, you know, it looks like it's been burnt. Whereas number 4 is wet. So this could be a number of things. Bad spark plug wire. Could just be a bad spark plug. It's got a crack in the porcelain. It's grounding out. Or it could be valve train at that point. But I do know that it feels like it has a misfire and it's not running on all cylinders. That would explain it. So what I'm going to do is I have to fix one of these plug wires, which is number 6, because boot came off. But that's no big deal. I'm going to put them all back in there. I'm going to flop probably 6 and 4 around. Fire this thing up, let it run for a minute, and see if number 6 here gets any of that condensation, moisture, oily stuff on that. I'm also going to put my spark tester in line in number 4 and see if we get flash. Okay, got those all put back in. Of course, I flopped 4 and 6. Got my spark tester in line there. Some of you might be wondering what the oil looks like. Oil's actually pretty good. And if it was milky, you know, that'd be coolant mixing with the oil, which would be a coolant leak. So what I'm thinking is the way those plugs looked, we obviously just have a misfire. Maybe it's just unburnt gas that's going through there. And maybe this thing is building up enough condensation because now it's actually running where it is over there, because the water that dripped over there is actually just water, like I said. So I don't know. But I'm going to plug in number 2. I'm going to put you guys up here so you can see that test light and see if it flashes and fire this thing up. Maybe it'll work fine. Maybe it's just a loose plug. I don't know. Let's figure it out. Okay, let's fire this thing up. See if we have spark. Don't scratch the paint. Maybe it's got something in the valve train. I don't know. We did replace that push rod on number 2. Maybe we got a bent push rod. And it's got a miss. Who knows? Definitely wet on there, so she ain't burning all the fuels as she's supposed to be. So unfortunately, I don't have a pressure tester gauge to, you know, do a compression check. And if I guess, that compression on that cylinder is probably a little bit low. And with it being lower compression, fuel running in it, it's probably not enough compression to spark and, you know, make the explosion happen all the time. So I guess a couple things we could do is ignore it, which I'm probably going to do, and maybe run some different fuel in it. Probably not, because it's expensive. I might try to go find some Berrymans or Seafoam and try to, you know, run it down the carburetor wide open and try to burn out some of that, run a couple tanks of that through the gas tank thing. Probably going to end up doing that. I don't have any right now, of course, because remember we were at Walmart the other day and we tried to find some. But what I do have is, I don't know why it's stuck on there. Anyways, I have this heat stuff. Heat. Carbon injector cleaner. I got 4 bottles of it, so I'm just gonna dump. Let me use it. Why not? You got it. We'll run it down the app while the carb's going and do all that sorts of stuff with another bottle. I'm just going to dump one in the tank because I got other stuff I want to do right now. Well, after some more dilly-dallying, I just kind of decided we're going to just run the motor as is. It blows up. If it has a freaking blown head gasket, starts using a ton of coolant, whatever. I have plans for this for the future. Anyways, so my next project I'm going to be working on is, you know, headliner and coldness and some wind and, you know, let me show you. Well, hey, I bet you expected to see something, you know, Burt related, you know. Anyways, I started a new video there and I kind of really didn't realize what I was doing, but I started doing a lot more work on it. Anyways, next video, Burt's gonna have a lot different look. I'll just tell you that. So keep this one short and sweet. Hope you like that one. Stay tuned. Got a lot more stuff coming. Please like, subscribe, share, comment below. See you next time.